It is fairly well known that the position of your mouse sensor can influence how mouse sensitivity feels. Higher up the mouse makes horizontal aiming feel faster, and lower down makes horizontal aiming feel slower. But that's not what we're covering in this video. Instead, we're looking at sensor orientation and how to optimize it for the most natural and instinctive feeling aim. If you are at a computer, open up Paint and grip your mouse as if you were playing an FPS game. Close your eyes and purely wrist aim left to right without adjusting your grip at all. Open your eyes and you will likely see lines ending higher on the left and lower on the right. The amount the lines deviate from the horizontal will depend on a combination of mouse grip, mouse shape, and your own physiology. As you can see with my grip on the G303 Strat Edition, the sensor is highly askew and not in line with the center of the palm and forearm, causing my lines to be skewed. Next up, with your normal FPS grip, close your eyes and imagine you are tracking a target moving horizontally. Do a couple of strafes to the right and to the left, and you will likely see this same deviation from the horizontal. This crudely lets us know that there is a mismatch between the expectations and reality of our aiming. Now, it's quite easy to get used to these askew sensor positions, and you've probably never had a reason to even notice this before. But what we can improve here is allowing for more instinctive feeling aim, where the expectations for mouse movements in our head matches the reality of what happens when we do move the mouse. And we can also better utilize the range of motion of our wrist and arm. We can do this by using raw Axel. It's a fully signed driver that cannot be used to cheat, so it is safe to use in Faceit, Valorant, and any other popular FPS game at the moment. The link to download it is in the description. Once you have it installed and have restarted your PC, go ahead and open it up. The only thing we're interested in here for this video is the rotation field. This lets us change the orientation of our mouse sensor. For example, 20 degrees will significantly exaggerate the problem, and negative 20 degrees will cause us trouble in the opposite direction. It only takes a small adjustment to make a big difference. In my case, the sweet spot sits at around negative 6.3. To find the rotation that best suits you, there are a few tests you can try out. In Paint, lower your mouse DPI to something around 400 to 800. If your DPI is too high, you will draw off the screen and you won't get a good result. Choose a high rotation like negative 10 and draw left to right as if you were tracking someone moving side to side. The ultimate goal here is to have nicely grouped horizontal lines. With that in mind, it is imperative to not force your lines to be horizontal. Let your hand move naturally. On negative 10, the right side of your lines will likely be pointing upwards. Next, set the rotation to 0 and do the same. The right side of your lines will likely be pointing down now. Next up, try negative 9, then negative 1, negative 8, negative 2, and so on until you hone in on a range that has clean horizontal lines. At this point, you can move into the decimals and really pinpoint what works best. If you want to further clarify and experiment, open up KovaaKs and load up the sensor orientation tester scenario. Try some quick flicks, tracks, with your eyes open or closed, and see how close you can stay to the line. When you have your rotation settings figured out and head into FPS games, there are 3 things to pay attention to. Firstly, your big aiming movements like turning around may feel awkward at first, but you will very quickly adjust. Secondly, if you are picky about your mouse sensitivity, you may need to lower it very slightly, as your mouse movements will now be more efficient. And thirdly, give it a little time. While I personally experienced instant improvements, it is reasonable to expect an adjustment period, much like when trying out a new mouse. And there we have it, a niche but surprisingly impactful aiming optimization. We hope you found this video helpful. Let us know the rotation that works best for you in the comments below. Subscribe for more content like this, and we'll catch you in the next one.